Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Duster Squad podcast, featuring your favorites from the Fifth Line podcast.
We were like, that's sort of being used by Columbus. And,
which we found out. So we started this 2016, I think.
Way back when, we didn't do very many episodes, but
so
like 4.
Yeah.
If you want to go watch them, they're super analytical too.
They are still on the channel.
That honestly was our peak. I don't think we've ever reached that again.
Wow.
They're all still on the channel. But we decided to rebrand because of the whole Columbus thing, and also I didn't tell you guys this, or I might have told Ben this.
I think we were talking about it.
Yeah, somebody else started a Fifth Line podcast, a Columbus fan, and they took the image that I did for our Spotify, and they used it as their channel art, like their channel picture. And I was like, hold on.
No way.
Yeah, I saw it because I was scrolling down, and I saw it, and I was like,
I gotta look at this.
I was like, wait a second, that's my picture. That's not my channel. It's the picture of you, Nick. It's the picture I took of you skating on the pond by your apartment and stopping into the camera.
Is it on YouTube?
It's on YouTube. If you search the Fifth Line podcast on YouTube and scroll down, you'll find it. But we're back, and we got a little bit of exciting news regarding the guy that's scrolling on his phone. This man just became an uncle. So congratulations.
I didn't know this.
Yes.
Did Brian and Shay have a baby? Or is it somebody else?
I'll bleep that out.
Well,
oh shit, right. Yeah, sorry.
But Nick's
it wasn't Brian and Shay, it was Aaron.
Nick's brother and his wife had a baby. So that's exciting. So congratulations there.
I'm not back in pod mode, boys. I'm sorry.
How is it? Is it happy and healthy?
Yep, everything's all good. They're home now too.
Or is it pissed off and healthy?
Happy and healthy. Everything's all good.
Good.
Yep.
Good to hear.
Dude, congrats.
They got home this morning. They were in the hospital the last couple days. But they're back home now. Everything's all good.
All right. That's exciting. So obviously we changed our name, and obviously because of that we now have all new socials. It's the same accounts, so if you're already followed, you'll be good. But if you're new and you are looking for them, on Facebook it is Duster Squad Podcast. On Twitter the handle is @DusterSquadPod, and the Instagram is the same @DusterSquadPod. So head on over, hit some follows, and you'll be updated with whenever we have a new episode. So,
because all the best podcasts rename themselves 3 years in.
Didn't I have something to tell? I had a story I was going to tell.
You did. You said you had a story. I don't remember about what. I don't even remember what we were talking about. But
was that the story? Was it the stolen picture? Or no, it was something totally
No, it was something else.
It was something else.
I remember you were like, hey, I'm going to hold on to it. And I have no idea. I cannot remember a fucking thing about what we were talking about.
I remember it was something about your hair. It was something about your hair.
Oh, the Jesus story.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what it was.
So we have a pool here at our, and I'm surprised Danielle didn't tell you guys this because she thought it was the funniest thing. So when I had my playoff beard and my long hair before I had like the back cut, my mom always said, "You look like Jesus, like you look like the illustrations of Jesus." And so we went to the pool that's by our apartment. I did. I stepped right on the pool, and I was like, "Holy shit!" No, but I was swimming, and then I had like the hair was still long, and it got longer because it got wet, so it like really laid down. Yeah. And there was this lady there with her kid. And Danielle was like sitting on the edge of the pool, and I was like fiddling around, and the lady like floated by Danielle with her kid and was like looking at me and was like, "That guy looks like Jesus." So it's not, really it's not just my mom. If I grow my beard out and my hair, I look like Christ. Christ almighty.
Right, well, Halloween costume, baby, right there.
Need a white robe. Honestly,
they
that would
usually have like a staff too. Like
that
a
would
stick
be
or
easy.
something.
I feel like you're thinking of Gandalf.
I've definitely seen depictions of him holding.
No, he probably does. He probably does. Yeah. But yeah, so that was my story. I look like Jesus if I grow my beard out with my long hair.
You got a hell of a beard when you get it out.
Yeah, I think I might go back to it. Mustache is getting kind of
finally.
Nick, I don't understand.
It's a little
Nick,
messy right now.
Why are you so obsessed with my beard?
Because I get I'm appreciative of the folks who can grow beards because I can't.
He grows a beard vicariously through you.
Okay. Yeah. I see. All right. Well, who wants to go first? We're going to get into the off season. Actually, let's do the whole league first here.
Yeah. My trouble was I was trying to remember where we left off.
Yeah.
I was going back and I was like, what? Okay. So where did the news split? Because we had gotten most of the draft stuff.
It was before. Yeah. We definitely got all that stuff done, but it was before Kadri got signed. So Kadri signed a 7x7, which if it wasn't like flat cap, they'd be higher.
Probably.
In Calgary, he went back to Canada of all places.
Indeed.
But there's not all that many places that can add that kind of contract. So
yeah. But I feel like we gotta bringing up Kadri, we gotta talk about how the hell did Brad Treliving do such a 180 on that off season? Because they were like the most depressing team to think about, like when we left. Although had the Tkachuk trade happened by that point, I think we got that in right at the end.
Yes,
but we were like, oh shit, this should actually help offset it. And then after that, they did Kadri, and I'm like,
yeah, so
they honestly might be better.
I think they got I would say they got. I think
because they also have Uyghur in there.
I think they got better. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got, and not only that, and I'd like to hear what you guys think, but they got better for the playoffs.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Kadri's a playoff guy after this year, at least.
Oh, yeah.
And Uyghur's a big physical guy that can excel a little more in the playoffs when there's a little more leeway.
Yeah.
Just, that's the best way to put it.
Defense was a poor thing from them last year, too. So, getting him.
Yeah.
Because true. Because like when they lost Tanev with an injury, they were kind of cooked. It was like Tanev or bust, and then he came back very clearly injured and was like laboring around the ice, and I was like, man. And then, so if you're just resting it all on him, at least they have Uyghur there now. But then in terms of forwards, he
stayed in those games.
Yeah, and in terms of forwards, until the Edmonton series, that was a little rough. But yeah, Calgary. Like, come on. That was a hell of an offseason to be able to just rebound back from. I cannot imagine what it would feel like to, all right, Gaudreau until the last date. He's like, nah. And like, all right, fuck, man. Ah, geez. All right. And then like a week later, Tkachuk's like, actually, me too. Like, how do you deal with that? And then he did. Like, good on him.
The trick is, I think the Tkachuk-Huberdeau trade, like, as much as, we talked about this, but I think Calgary made out better, in my opinion.
I mean, that Huberdeau contract is probably going to be dog shit for like the last 3 or 4 years of it. But that doesn't matter because, it won't be dog shit. It'll still be useful, but it won't be good. But like, I think they very clearly realize like, hey, it's the next 3 or 4 years for us at max is like their go for it. So we're just gonna mortgage the future right now because we kind of need to. We need to.
They need
we
success
need to do
now.
some stuff right now. Yeah, and I think there's definitely some merit in that. Like knowing that, hey, if we're gonna do it, let's fucking do it. And then deal with the consequences later because there probably are gonna be some consequences for the later years of the Kadri and Huberdeau contracts. But
there usually are.
I dig the fact that they were like, fuck it. Fuck the fact that these two guys just left us. Fuck all that. Fuck it. We're going. And they win.
Yeah.
Like
they did a good job, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be good. But will they be as good as Colorado, who just locked up their superstar?
Did
Nathan-
they? Because I couldn't find anything on that.
Oh yeah, no, they
Nathan
signed-
MacKinnon.
Oh, I missed it. Okay.
Nathan MacKinnon signs an 8-year extension, which will happen after this year.
Yeah.
So he's got 8 more years after this season at $12.6 million, making him the highest paid player in the league.
by $100,000.
By $100,000. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
I think
Good.
this has some interesting.
Oh, God.
So my first thought.
Who's
my
committing a
first
crime?
thought was- sorry. Oh yeah, the guy. Yeah. There's a police precinct like right down the street, literally too. I probably should have mentioned that. But I think it's so. First off, I thought it was funny that it was $100K more than the McDavid deal. But that 2 things for me, whether or not like this is all just speculation, but whether or not like I don't know if McKinnon and McDavid are good buddies, and that was just kind of like, see, I'm beating you out by $100K. But other than that, this is interesting because it's great that Colorado locked up McKinnon. He deserves all that money. Such a good player. I don't think that contract will look that bad as time goes on again. McKinnon's one of those players like McDavid. He's just in that category of like, just pay the guy the money. Like,
Yeah,
they're just
a guy you can't
unbelievable.
lose.
Yeah, exactly. But this is interesting because there are players like Matthews and McDavid who have contracts going up, and McKinnon really set a bar. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if McKinnon is the highest paid player at $100K more than what McDavid makes now, that'll be really interesting to see what McDavid asks for after this. Or
They
even
are-
that he deserves. So
It does set a precedent of
yeah,
the superstars. Like, yeah, we're getting our money. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
Which is
we're getting
interesting.
what we're worth.
I would arguably say though, like he's honestly probably getting a little less than he could have if he like really stuck him, because it's all but been confirmed that by 2025 we're going to be up by like another $10 million in the cap. So when it comes to any guy like McDavid, like McKinnon, like Matthews, they're going to be like, hey, I don't give a fuck. Cap's going up in a few years. You can figure it out for these next 2. Give me my money, because I'm not. You're not going to not give me my money. It's
Did you know
interesting.
that there's a player currently doing that on a team that I have some vested interest in as well?
Wait, who?
Jason Robert.
Oh,
right.
that's
Yeah.
right. That's
You
right.
can get to him.
That's
But-
right.
That's also why you saw Otter only sign a couple-year deal too, right? Like
Yeah.
he plays
The
it out of his mind. 2 more
bridge
years,
deal?
he's gonna make a
Yeah.
ton. Yeah.
Did they?
Well, the other weird fucking dumb wrinkle in that was the Stars owner coming out and being like, I don't like how all these young guys are asking for big contracts like right after they get off their entry. I mean, it's really putting a pinch on like some of the middle of the road guys who don't score as much, but they need their money too. And I'm like, my guy, that's everything that's wrong with a lot of teams cap situation. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you pay the money to the people who are scoring. Like, that's.
Right.
That
Your
is how it
players,
goes.
like your ballers get the money.
I just heard that, and I was like, it also comes back to that was the same guy that. What did he call Sagan and Jordy Ben? He was the guy that like cursed them out like a couple years back in an interview, called them dog shit. Like, I can't remember what he actually said, but like
It was
he
when
literally
Ben and
like
Sagan were playing bad, and he called them out right in an interview, and you're like, "What the fuck did you say?"
he called them dog shit or horse shit or something. I feel like
he
shit
did.
was
I remember
involved.
that. I remember that. Yeah.
And I'm like,
There was some
you're
sort of
just-
shit in there. Some animal shit.
I don't know what's going on with the Dallas owner, but like you might want to pay the guy something to keep him around because he's pretty fucking good.
Yep.
Only person is producing for you, so
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And it also, that goes to show as well, like you got to understand where like wins come from. Wins come from scoring goals and keeping them out, but mostly it comes from scoring goals. And so you got to pay the money to the people who score the goals. It's kind of how it goes.
It's not hard, but so many GMs are very bad at that concept.
Well, congrats to Nathan McKinnon. Yeah, earning that deal coming off. What a year! What a year for him.
I'm interested to see with Colorado because losing Kadri is going to be massive.
Hurts the depth for sure.
McKinnon's going to have a lot more asset. That's going to be I'm interested.
Well, he's also
they're gonna
getting
be good.
paid more, so he's got the highest salary in the league. So step up, buddy.
He has been like criminally underpaid for like several years. So that's another thing when anybody's having any problem with his contract. I'm like, man, of any of the players that deserves like fair value, it's him. He's been playing like $4 or $5 million under his value for the last like 2 or 3 years. Like
that
good
is
for
factual.
him.
Yeah. All right. So, last thing for around the league, because I can't remember anything else big that we really need to talk about. We had a trio of retirees happen
all in one day.
All in one day, and
like
all defense, all defensemen. We had Big Chara, Subban, PK, Subban, I should say, because there is another one. And Keith Yandel, all retired, all hung up the laces. What do you guys think?
Crazy.
I mean, oh no, Eric, go.
I mean, well, I was just gonna say that it was kind of crazy that all happened on the same day. Chara, as an Islanders fan, I expected that. I was probably gonna retire.
He was having a hard time there at the end.
But honestly, as a 44-year-old, he played better than I'd ever play ice hockey at 44. So
yeah, fair enough.
He's better at 44 than I would be at 24.
Yeah. I'll really speak on Chara. I'll let Ben. I want to hear your thoughts on PK and everyone else's thoughts. But
okay, sorry. I thought you were transitioning me. Go.
No, I was gonna say real quick. Yandel, that kind of surprised me, to be honest. I don't know how you guys felt about that.
Well,
he got scratched a lot. The last
if you're getting,
how old is Yandel? Isn't he 30?
He's old.
He's not Chara old, but he's also not PK.
Yeah.
He's not as young as PK, I don't think.
Yeah, PK I think is 33. I want to say.
I believe he is 33. He's not old, but also, and I know that everybody kind of was like, "This is a stupid move," but he was getting healthy scratched by the
Philly
of all teams by the Flyers. So I'm not saying he was bad, but like I think there's better options out there.
Yeah.
So
PK was the one I think was like the most likely of any of them to you be like, oh yeah, maybe he might come back for another year. But also, I think it was said a few times on the Steve Dangle podcast where like he very clearly does not need to come back if the money's not there for it. Like there's no reason he needs to, because he's been somebody who's had back issues for a really long time. And like, unless he's getting a good situation and decent money, like why would he want to? I mean, unless you like just the value there, I didn't seem like. I think he's already signed on to do some kind of TV show with ESPN or something. And like,
he's entertaining.
He's the kind of guy that is immediately going to be able to get into hockey TV and do great and be fine. Yeah. So like, I was like, go do you, live your best life.
Plus, I mean, he's had a lot of injuries, it seems like, over the last few seasons. And, at this point, I know he got a big contract on the last one, right? So like, he
was $9 million a year for like several years, I think.
So he's obviously made enough money, and at this point, he's not going to come back on anything other than like an entry deal. So why risk another season littered with injury to just get paid league min?
He's probably just like, I think I'm going to not be ground into the boards by professional hockey players for another year. I think I'm just going to not do that. And I can't really blame him for that. But more generally, with like all three of them retiring, it just made me be like, shit, it's going to be within like 2 or 3 years that like all of the players from our like first stage in like watching hockey are just going to be gone. Like entirely.
Oh yeah.
And it's just going to be entirely new people cycled around in our brain, like, which for older hockey fans, that's just normal at this point.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the first time for us where we're like, oh, they're just all gone.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really weird.
Ben, it's funny you said that, because my first thought, like this trio retired, and then I just thought of the Pittsburgh trio. I was like,
when they're gone.
Soon.
That's going to be the real signal. And like, I don't see how
5 years, aren't they?
That's the thing. I don't see how Malkin and Letang are going to make it to the end of those contracts.
They're just so bad.
Is Malkin even going to make it to the end of the damn season, dude? God damn it.
Like, yeah, he has some issues with injuries.
There's
usually,
no way
but, like,
Letang makes it through this season.
He does too. He's got the same thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
but yeah, so we're getting old.
my
Yes,
biggest thing, my biggest thing with this trio, because I saw it, and you see Subban, you're like, oh, 13 years. That's a pretty good career, 13-year career. And then you see Chara played 11 years longer and retired on the same day.
To be fair, 24-year career is a little more of the outlier. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Nothing to
That's very
at,
true.
But
that's very true.
holy shit, Chara had some longevity. Like,
that's nuts.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Fuck him for patches though.
Oh yeah, because he hit him. He hit him into like the corner, didn't he? Like the
he
corner
like
thing.
Put his head into the stanchion.
Oh boy.
And,
Yeah, into that, like,
it was bad.
Don't be mad at Chara.
That's the one right near the bench, right? That corner board.
Yeah.
And then after that, it became
now it's curved. Yep.
Yeah.
You could still fuck somebody up there though.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it just lessens.
It's harder. You got to have more skill to do it.
Be mad at whoever designed the Bell Center. No, don't be mad.
I mean, that was just hockey rink design. Like, yeah.
All right. What do you guys say we get into our teams and how our teams' off seasons went?
Yes.
Who wants to go first though? That's the question.
I'll go first.
All right, old Nick getting in there.
I'm going second.
Okay, so off season, we talked about all the signings. Nothing really changed in terms of the Stützle extension was the only big thing that Ottawa did since the last time we talked.
I'm gonna say most of their stuff they got done early. But.
Right. Yep. My biggest, I think it's going to be an entertaining offense to watch this year. They had some depth signings recently, but my biggest concern and the thing that they should have addressed in the offseason that they didn't was defense. They do. So Zub played good last year. He's potentially pairing with Shabbat.
Yeah, he's decent.
Yeah.
Also, just banger of a name there.
But pairing two expected right now is Hamonic and Sanderson. So you got an oldie and a rookie.
Listen, that's the perfect combo.
In Sanderson's defense, he's been playing juniors for the last 2 years and finishing off college. So
yeah,
he's been good.
You can thank Pierre Maguire for Travis Hamonic.
Yeah. And he's gone too.
that was good. I'm glad they got rid of him. They needed to.
So
you don't want to say too much of like, yeah.
So I don't know. I'm skeptical. It'll be interesting to see them. I know they have a preseason game today. Again.
Yeah, they were playing the Leafs. They were winning at one point.
I think they lost. I think Senators lost like 5-1.
Darn.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Anyway, they got the new goalie. Cam Talbot's goalie this year, so hopefully that all works out.
Honestly, yeah, their tandem is not bad because it's Talbot and what's his face, the guy they re-signed, like they got off waivers and then gave an extension to.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Forsberg.
Yeah. He seemed to have really sort of solidified himself there at the end of the year last year with them. Like that could be intriguing. Yeah. It is definitely their decor where it's like
that's
I think you'll see it. I bet you see something like this, right? If they have a good season and they're like in the hunt, I bet you they make a move for a defenseman at the deadline. Maybe.
I could see that.
That's a time when you can pull somebody in off a team that might be struggling.
If they're within like they're within like 4 points ish in like late January.
So within a couple wins.
Yeah. I would say just because like with Ottawa, everybody's, which honestly, yeah, they've had a banger of an off season. Like it's good for them. Like they've gonna improve, but like, weren't they 27th last year?
They were not very high.
Yeah, like they're probably gonna improve, and they might be in the hunt for the playoffs.
I think they'll be in the hunt.
They'll be in the hunt, but like it wouldn't shock me at all if they miss. Is the thing because like that's a lot of ground to make up in 1 year.
Plus, you got a lot of new parts on that team that have never jacked together. So I think the top two lines, and we might have talked about this. I think
the top two lines look fucking good.
Top two lines look really good. My other concern, though, with the top two lines is what's going to happen with Drake Batherson and this whole like sexual assault stuff that's going on, because he is one of those players.
Yeah.
And I read an article today. It says he's cooperating and everything and working with the league, but it's like, okay, when you get out of this, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of disciplinary action that's going to come, right? So is he going to be suspended the season? Is he going to just get suspended indefinitely? Is he going to get nothing? You don't know.
If it's found that
and then you lose him, then you lose a major chunk on your offense too. So
well, probably shouldn't have assaulted someone then.
Yeah, I would say if it's found that like all that stuff is legit, like fuck him, get out of here.
If it's proven, obviously.
But
get out of here!
No need to speculate on that.
No, the findings will come out
eventually.
So that's honestly, between defense and what happens with him is the concern. I think anybody who's an Ottawa fan will have.
Okay, so here's my question, and I'm going to put you ready. You're about to be full screen.
Oh boy!
We're trying some new stuff here.
Are you? You know what? We're going to go split screen with you and me too. Sorry, once I got to find it. Are you going to watch more games this year?
Well, if I watch more than 2, that'll be more than last year. So yeah.
You only watched 2 last year?
And one of them was with me.
Yeah.
And was the other one when we were watching that one after the Buffalo game?
Probably. I didn't turn Ottawa on very much last year. Like,
they're going to be fun to watch this year at least.
I watched a lot of like what do you call it? Like the gameplays after, like your recaps and all that stuff. I watched obviously a lot of that, but
how did I watch
in total? I probably watched 2, and then I watched more league games. I watched playoff games too, but I didn't watch a lot last year.
I know, with how painful the Habs were, how did I watch more Habs games?
You're also, it's so ingrained in you to just chuck the game on.
Exactly.
Yeah, Eric knows.
Yeah. Dude, you're a diehard Habs man. That's watch more Habs games. You know why? Because then you could talk to all the suffering friends of yours on Twitter, and you guys could be like, guys, you see that? Yeah, we saw that.
It did get to the point though where I literally just stopped for a couple months. Because anyway, the Sens though.
That's all I got. Defense and Batherson. We'll see what happens. I hope the offense drives. But hey,
Nick,
we got a few weeks here and we're going into it. So,
Nick, Derek Brassard, they signed him to a PTO. PTO. That's the last thing. That's the last thing.
Yeah, no, I forgot about that. Yeah, so they brought back Derek Brassard. I'm like, what?
He's a guy. He can do
he
stuff.
played for him a few years ago.
Yeah.
He is a guy.
He, I'm fairly certain, was like the linchpin of the trade that sent Zibanejad to the fucking Rangers, which was so bad. Oh, that was so bad. But so he's back on Ottawa. Well, good for them.
Man, it all goes full circle. If I could only have Zibanejad.
If only it could be all full circle.
Yeah.
I still want McDonough, but we don't get what we want.
I bet you want Sorg back.
They probably could have had him this year.
I mean, they should have let him go.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, Benny, why don't we roll into the Habs? How does that sound?
All right. Sure. Well, bringing it back around to all of the players of our childhood leaving us. One of the trades that happened after we went off the air for a bit there was the Habs acquiring Sean Monahan and a first-round pick with like 1,000 different conditions on it that I'm not even going to bother to try to explain because I don't really fully understand them myself. I just know they get a first-round pick at some point in the next like 3 years. And I know that, and that's enough for me. I'll find out when they get it.
You'll find out when you need to.
Yeah. But when everybody saw that trade happening and they saw Monahan's contract coming back, which I think is like 5 something. I don't know. It's not cheap. So everybody was like, we're kind of already up against it already. What's happening? And that was the day that we found out that there's pretty much no way Carey Price is going to be in the entire season this year, which came with the heavy undertones of, man, it's probably done. Which there hasn't been anything certain on that, which there probably won't be because you can't retire for the contract to keep happening. You have to just be on LTIR, all that fucking dumb whatever jazz.
Yeah.
But Carey did like a few weeks later post like what very much looked like a goodbye post on his Instagram.
I saw that.
And
I do remember that. Yep.
And Habs Twitter was very sad for a few weeks there. And if it ends up being it, it's gonna really suck, and it's gonna be very strange for like the first year since 2008. I won't be seeing Carey Price on a Habs roster, which is so 14 years. Basically all of my Habs watching lifetime. So that's gonna be a weird thing to kind of process whenever like the official something happens, which I think he was supposed to get like training camp like assessments done, like physicals done, and I don't know if any more updates are going to come out soon, but yeah,
right. And if
he's probably done,
he's gonna fail physicals and he's gonna go on.
Yeah, he's probably done.
That sucks.
Bummer.
Yeah, which is something everybody kind of had thought might be the case, even like at the end of last season, because he did an interview. He did an interview after that last game against Florida where they won 10-2, and there was a few reporters that asked him sort of like about where it's going, what's happening, and he said, well, if this was it, it's a hell of a way to end it. 10-2 game.
Is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is he the all-time wins leader?
Yeah,
for the Habs?
He's the Habs.
That's pretty nuts.
Goalie. I was actually at the game where he surpassed into that record. It was against Detroit. I feel like it was in overtime, but it was definitely against Detroit. I went in with my brother. That was actually a really fun night. The ovation after that was cool. He's just such a. I mean, and for all of the Habs fans of like my era of like failure, essentially, he is like, he is the biggest. He's the best. He's the best player they've had since Guy Lafleur left.
Dang.
Or no, they had Patrick Waugh. Best player since Patrick Waugh.
So both,
which was
of the past,
was in 96,
coming up on 30 years.
Yeah. So like he's such
20.
a huge part in like the younger Habs fan generation's like just love of the team, and like he's just been such a presence that it's just like it's gonna be fucking weird. It's gonna be fucking weird to have him gone, and I hope the day comes that they retire his number.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you say that, but I don't know.
No fucking way. Franchise leader in wins. There's no chance.
You would think, but I don't know.
Because
the divide is very much. The divide is very much everybody young within the Habs fandom is pretty much like, I mean, but anybody who's above the age of like 40 is like, where's his cup? Where's his this? Where's it? And I'm like, all right, guys. Okay. I also think Saku should have his number retired, but that's just me. I don't know if it'll ever happen. I hope it does. Also, I don't know if Hockey Hall of Fame will happen. It'd be cool. I was actually on this, like, I saw a large amount of people, like, reporters wise, go like, oh yeah, Hall of Fame lock, but I don't know about his jersey retirement. And I was like, if anything, I think the odds are better for jersey retirement.
You would think so.
I don't know. But it's just going to be really weird. First time in a very long time not having him around. So I don't know. You guys have any thoughts on Carey Price before we move on to the rest?
Bummer.
It's
just Carey Price, the player, and his like career. Like,
I guess.
What do you got?
I'll briefly just say, as like, as someone who played goalie, like you, Ben, playing street hockey.
Oh God, I don't know if that's the best comparison, but
I just like bringing it up because you played goalie very briefly in jeans, which I respect. But
I did do that.
The two goalies that I would like kind of like model my not my style, just like I was like, whoa, these are really good goalies, and I would like try to do stuff that they did. Jonathan Quick, obviously, you guys know, but Carey Price always just looked so calm and controlled. And any NHL games that I played, because obviously I'm not a big gamer like you guys now, but growing up, Carey Price, he was the goalie in every single NHL game. He was the OG. Now it's Vassy.
Yeah.
It is Vassy now. I won't deny that.
So Carey Price, just as a hockey fan, you hear the name Carey Price, you know exactly who he is. He's just, I think that's really cool. You can not like the Canadians or whatever, but Carey Price, I don't really know many people that have anything against him. He's an awesome person, awesome player. Definitely one of my favorite goalies of all time.
I'm really happy that he got that last cup run to be like, no, fuck you, I still got it. Because the last few seasons he had, which admittedly, regular season it was very mixed for the last few years. And he got by on a lot of just people loving him because he's Carey Price. But like that run was such a just, nah, fuck you. I am still like one of the best. Like, and it ran out at the end because they were like, I look back on that Habs team now and I can be like, yeah, they ran up against Tampa and it was a fun run, but like that team probably shouldn't have been able to do that. But I'm so glad he did that and was able to make a cup final and was able to kind of have like that statement where like that Vegas series, he had some ludicrous shit. Late in that Toronto series, he had some ludicrous shit going on. Like, he had such a good run. And it was so nice as somebody who had watched him for so long, just to get kind of one last just stretch of time with him where he was that kind of special player. And I wish it could have gone a different way in that particular series at the end there, but it is what it is. It's still a fun memory I'm going to have for a very long time with that run. Lots of memories of that run going forward. So thank you, Carey.
Well, that's how we'll end it. Rick, you want to go or do you want me to go?
I have a couple of other things with the Habs though. Sorry, I went on about Carey for a while there, but got a lot of feelings, man.
All right, so give us the rundown.
Yeah, what are they doing?
I'll do this rapid fire because, well, one might be a little longer. Rapid fire, Monahan to the end, the first round pick to the Habs in that trade. Holy shit! I mean, Monahan's not that good anymore, but you get a year of him and a first round pick for free.
He's been hurt a lot, so maybe he can. He's not bad. He's not a bad player.
And so
maybe if he can get healthy, he'll be good.
Yeah, and they've been saying he's probably going to miss a little bit of the beginning of the season, but like everything about his injury, like progression seems like he's going to be latest. It would be back in like November. Like, so like he's going to be there most of the year. So yeah, that was really gross. I'm sorry. But getting that and a first round pick for free is just like, okay, good job, Kent. The two significant extensions since the last podcast were Caden Primo for 3 years at like, I don't remember the exact number, but it was like 800,000. It was like just a cheapo deal.
Yeah.
So it'll give him some time to sort of either develop in the A this year with Jake Allen and Sam Montembeault up in Montreal, or if injuries happen, he'll get called up and down. I think they're going to give him some time to just have Laval's net, because he had a hell of a run going to the conference final in the AHL this past season. He was great. So give him another year, see what he can do, and then maybe get some in. If he gets some injuries, bring him up. And then the slightly more worrying one was the 4-year extension to Kirby Dach for $3.6 million. I say slightly because that'll only bring him to like 25, and he'll be a 25-year-old center making $3.6 million. That's not that great. But he also hasn't done that much yet to like show he's that much yet. It's like his season high is 26 points.
A 3.6 million in like 3 years is going to be like a fourth line guy.
That's also true. It's not that bad of a deal. That's the thing. Like, it's just kind of weird because he hasn't shown much yet, so it feels weird to give a deal like that. But like, it'll probably end up being fine.
I bet you.
But
I think it'll be fine.
More than fine.
Yeah. Everything will be fine.
In 3 years, you're going to be like, Man, that's a steal of a contract.
Yeah, when he's signing his extension
well
for like $10 million.
I think the odds of it being fine are higher than it not, but it's still just yet to be seen because he's a little bit of an unknown. He's had a bit of a hard time. Granted, he had a hard time in Chicago, so like, yeah. But and then the last thing is probably the biggest news since then is Nick Suzuki named captain, which, yeah. Like that was my choice going in. I was like,
you talked about that all of last season. You were like, it's probably going to happen. Yep, nailed it.
Yeah, which I won't take too much credit for that because that was just kind of like the sentiment all across Habs Twitter. Like that, it became the obvious choice as time went on. And then a really cool tidbit came out in a story after he got named, where Nick said post the 2021 Tampa Bay Lightning final. That they lost, Shea Weber came to him and like had a talk with him, and during it said that Nick was going to be the next captain of the Montreal Canadiens.
Really cool.
And then like Nick in the interview was like, I guess he kind of, looking back on it now, knew like he was going to probably be wrapping up here, so he wanted to kind of have that talk and like just do this. So I was like, wow, that's really cool. And everybody on the team was like, yeah, this makes sense. It was the right choice. Like, I think Jake Allen's quote was, it wasn't a player vote, but even if it was, he would have been it anyway. Like, he was like, I was like, nice. Okay, cool. So it was just really fun news. I was like, yeah, good for him.
Did Shea Weber speak French? Did he have some French? Oh, no.
Well,
all right then.
Yeah. I wish that quote that I sent you would have been real.
Yeah, Nick sent a fake. It was a fake quote saying what the hell did it say? It was basically it was saying that Suzuki had said basically to fuck off.
Yeah,
fuck off.
But I was like,
gonna learn French.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way.
Yeah,
and there was no way.
No, he actually said during the first day, like when it got announced, he was like, yeah, I mean, I took French all the way through like 10th grade in school, and I've been doing lessons this summer. I've been working on it. Not great, but I'm working on it. And like for most people, that was fine. For like the fringe, like annoying motherfuckers, it was like, yeah. But you'll get a little bit of that no matter what. It's Montreal. We're passionate. You get a little bit of that. But for the most
nothing
part,
if they're not passionate.
Yeah. For the most part, it was a pretty positive reception to him. I don't know. What do you guys think with your outside perspectives on Nick Suzuki of the move?
Rick.
To be honest, I think it just made the most sense based on everything you were telling us, and also, I look up and down that roster. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. He just makes the most sense. I don't know who else.
Unless it's the only other choice is Gallagher.
But I could see why. I don't know. He wouldn't be like the captain. I don't know. I could just see Gallagher with an A or something.
He has an A, but also the thing is, like, I know this is going to sound like me being Habs fan, whatever, but like he and refs, like there is no one on earth that gets a more unfair shake of things a lot of the time. If he is within a foot of a crease and a goal gets scored, it doesn't matter what the fuck's happening. It's coming back.
I shouldn't be there.
But it's like, so I get that to a degree, and also like if there was a time for Gallagher to get it, it was probably when Shea got it, and at this point, it's very clearly kind of moving on to be like Nick Suzuki's team of the future.
Yeah.
So like, and Nick Suzuki's going into the first year of an 8-year extension. Like, obviously, he's going to be the one that's going to be around for a really long time. He's the leader of the youth group. Like,
how old is Gallagher?
He's got to be 30 by now.
He's pretty. He's
45,
getting up there.
He started
50?
in 2013.
He is.
And Gallagher.
He's 30? Okay.
He is 30 years exactly.
Yeah, so he's not probably going to be around that much longer. And I don't even know what's left on his contract, but I'd be surprised if he even stuck around.
He's got
past that.
4 or 5 more years.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, Bergevin signed a bit of a long one with him before he left. He left us with a lot of gifts, that guy.
He's just the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, yeah. That, Mike Hoffman, Yoel Armia.
Oh, yeah.
David Savard's like $3.5 million. Yeah, it's great.
Stanley Cup champion, David Savard.
He saw him set up that cup-winning goal, and he was like, I need you.
I want that guy.
But hey, for some reason, I need to give you $3.5 million a year. He's probably going to be like.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on here from the Canadians.
And he's going on a tangent.
That's all. So that's all the stuff rolling in. Got Allen in the net. Suzuki as captain. You'll just have a grand old time. Eric, would you like to talk about your Islanders?
I'd like to talk about my Islanders. So I'm going to start this by saying one of the most entertaining things that happened this Islanders offseason is that, people have to shave and cut their hair. Every year, everyone goes fucking nuts over it.
Because it's dumb.
No. The most entertaining thing about Islanders offseason is the fact that they've done nothing. And that's entertaining enough.
That sounds a little bit petty.
Well, for us, not for him.
I know, yeah.
No, it's just more like entertaining to the fact that, like, how the fuck did you not do one thing other than
yes. Yeah. No, and I was just joking. I was going to bring up your secret love for the Rangers, but no, that's okay. No. So the Islanders, the Islanders. No, I just busted.
I'm kidding.
But the Islanders did. I'll start off with some player stuff first. They did lock up some guys. Those 3 guys. All right. They didn't get Kadri. We talked about that before. They offered him $7 million over 8 years, I believe. And I guess he turned it down. Again, we don't Lou doesn't release anything, so I don't know what happened with that exchange. I know nothing. I just know that the Islanders had cap space to get a Nazem Kadri, and they did not. So they used that cap space to lock up Noah Dobson, Kiefer Bellows, and Alexander Romanov. And I'm going to read off those contracts real quick, just so you guys know the values. So Noah Dobson was extended 3 years for $4 million a year, which is honestly a really good deal.
Yeah, that seems
he had a great season. He's a young D-man. Like, yes, give the young player like a little chunk,
a little bridge deal,
change, especially over 3 years. Kiefer Bellows has a prove-it deal. He's been with the Islanders in their system for a little bit now, and he got 1 year at $1.2 million. Again, this is your, play for the money. See what we're going to do if we have to shake up the roster at the trade deadline or next year. Who knows? And then Romanov, they locked him up. Another kind of bridge deal. 3 years, $2.5 million a year for Romanov. And that's the only one, I don't know. It's not terrible, but also Romanov really hasn't done much in his career yet, in the sense that between injuries and the team he's playing on, Ducharme's scratching the shit out of him in playoffs.
He wasn't there for most of the playoffs.
Yeah,
but
for whatever reason. But
yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Nothing crazy to report there. What else? We talked about Chara retiring. I listed that under there. That was weak news. But obviously, Romanov is going to slot in with Dobson this year. So the Islanders D pairs, I'll read them off to you guys. This is at training camp the other day, what they were messing around with. Pelech Polak as the first pair, obviously. Then you have Dobson and Romanov as your second pair. And then Scott Mayfield and Robin Salo as your third pair. So not a bad looking 6 there, honestly. But some things have to go right in the sense that that's 3 and 4 in Dobson and Romanov. Dobson has to continue to have a good season, and Romanov has to fit in with the Islanders' defensive system and hopefully carry his weight. Other than that, some crazy Isles news. Not super crazy. I don't know if you guys heard about this. Sebastian Aho, one of the 2 Sebastian Ahos in the NHL.
The worst of the Sebastians.
The superior Sebastian is what you mean.
Well, he's not making his case to be superior because he was arrested on a DUI in Sweden over the summer.
Oh, well.
And this is actually kind of funny. There's this awesome picture of him before I think it was, they used to be the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, the Islanders AHL affiliate, but they're the Bridgeport Islanders now. They're just the
that's Islanders. So not as cool.
Also, because Bridgeport isn't an island.
All right, now that we've torn apart their AHL team,
go back.
So they do a lot. They always do like weird jersey nights in the AHL.
Yeah.
So they actually have fun with that stuff.
Yeah.
So there was this picture that somebody shared of Aho. This was obviously before the DUI, but it was he had a drive sober or get pulled over patch on his jersey. That's like, oh no.
That's unfortunate.
So he indeed did not follow that patch. So that happened. I don't know what the deal with that is. Lou just said, we're gonna talk, whatever. Like it's fine. It'll be resolved. He knows he fucked up.
Who is this? Sebastian? How old is he?
Sebastian Aho. I'd say he's in his like mid-20s.
Come on, man.
Something like that. Yeah.
You're old enough to know not to do that.
Yeah. But so that happened. And then the last two things I want to talk about, Barzal has been doing a lot of like player media stuff. And I think he just did an interview with Preach, right? Elliot Friedman.
I think so. It was probably
that
him.
would make sense. They've been doing a bunch.
He probably did a
player
bunch of interviews with a
Yeah,
bunch of people.
yeah. That wasn't 32 Thoughts. That wasn't related to 32 Thoughts, right? That was just like a Sportsnet thing.
Might have been.
Well, they were splitting up the 32 Thoughts into like videos on the Sportsnet channel. I saw.
Okay.
I don't know. That might have been it, but.
So whatever that was, Barzal is pretty set in talking about his new contract. This is big. This is the big Islanders thing right now, right? Matt Barzal, got to lock him up. So back to the MacKinnon thing. It's interesting. MacKinnon got 12.6. I can't imagine Matt Barzal asking for anything more than 9. But I don't know. Maybe the Islanders really haven't done anything to like build around him too much. They still believe in this same group that they have. So I don't know. I kind of think 9 is going to be the magic number. That being said, other than the number, Barzal really wants to stay on Long Island. He definitely made it seem like he loves being on the island, like, playing golf, being able to go to the city. He loves the new arena. So that's good. I like to hear that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Islanders fan PTSD, Tavares was like, oh yeah, I love the island. I'm going to stay here. Did not.
Only if you offer me 11
but
mil.
That's, yeah. But so that's a good sign. Barzal said that he wants to come to an agreement with Lou on a contract. They want to finalize something during this season at some point, or the sooner the better. But he said he's not worried if that doesn't happen. Those were his exact words. So that's really all I have to say about that at the moment. And I'm going to finish the segment off by mentioning that it's the 50-year anniversary. The New York Islanders this year. That's pretty awesome. They have a cool
Stanley Cup
50.
champions, New York Islanders of the 2022-2023 season.
My ass.
Old. Okay.
There it is.
That'd be kind of fun.
But before we get off that,
folks.
how are you feeling about Lou these days, Eric?
Oh, I'm sick of him. I kind of want him to go after this season.
Yeah, I wondered.
I'm just kind of like listen, he came in, he did his thing, it's cool, but like fuck off now.
He seems to just kind of be puttering it. Like what is his plan?
I don't know. Nothing.
Every time he goes after a guy, he seems to kind of swing and miss.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, let's not mince our words here. He sucks.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
He's got a hell of a track record. He's done stuff in the past, but lately, I don't know.
Okay, they always say this an SDPM. Go, Mike.
His things are he's got he makes really good trades and then really shit signings, right? That's his thing.
Yeah, he had some questionable ones. Like he was the one that did the Zaitsev and Marleau ones in Toronto. Both things that Toronto had to do sweeteners to get
out from under.
Marleau they sent it first round with him. The Zaitsev they took on Cody Ceci for him.
Yeah, so who knows? What
I don't know.
Eric, what do you think of me saying that 9 million sounds like a lot for Matt Barzal?
I kind of agree. I think 9 million is a lot too, if I'm being honest. I think he's still going to ask for it because the precedent that MacKinnon contract sets and the cap going up. But Matt Barzal, other than his Calgary season, it's kind of been.
Yeah, what's he been doing?
He's not a bad hockey player. He's just he's not. He
he's
wasn't.
He's a setup man.
Points. Yeah, exactly. And
he's not one of these like bust out world beaters.
Yeah,
for you the goal and you need
Not
goal
yet.
kind of guy.
That's what frustrates me. If you actually Lou Lamoriello build around him with the proper pieces, then you see how good of a setup man he is. God damn it!
But, yeah, dude, you got to get a point there. You got to get a point to Kucherov.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like Matt Barzal could easily. Hold on, Benny. But Matt Barzal can easily reach those numbers that he was reaching his college season. Who was the guy? It was John Tavares that season when he got 80-something points.
That's
so
right.
Like, just do that. If freaking Calgary's GM could turn 2 losses of amazing players and spin that around for 3, and you just can't get 1 for this amazing young player.
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that he was not able to get Kadri. I thought for sure after Gaudreau was locked in, I was like, okay, so Kadri's going there. Then he's gotta. Yeah. Nope.
Yeah. You know what happened? It definitely came down to Kadri was like, "Hey Lou, do I have to shave if I go there?" And he was like, "Absolutely, dude. You know how we all operate." I was like, "All right, I'm going to Canada."
Pretty much, yeah.
He would rather go to Canada. Sorry, man. What were you gonna say?
Just one other thing on Barzal. In a bad year last year, year, he had 59 points in 73 games. And all time in his career, 311 points in 362 games, which is pretty good. But with him, I think he's gonna do like a 2 or 3 year, whatever it takes to get him through RFA at this point, contract, and then see what happens. I think that makes the most sense for him because he's somebody who had a hell of a start then on the next couple. So then, all right, I'm going to do this short-term deal that's going to bring me to hopefully UFA at the same time when the salary cap is about to skyrocket through the roof.
He could do an Otter. And
I honestly think that's what he'll do.
Okay.
I think that would make sense because then it'll give him a second to be like, I'm going to just have this decent, okay, short-term deal, try to get my stats through the roof.
Yeah.
And then hopefully try to do a UFA deal, if any. They're like, you
cash
usually
in
end up getting more when it's unrestricted, and do that, win the I think that'll be him. I think that's what's going to happen.
All right then.
Interesting. I guess what I'll say to that is if it's him and Lou negotiating that contract, I could just see it being like 8 years, fucking $9 million, and that's it because it's fucking Lou.
I mean, yeah.
That does make sense. Yeah. That does make sense.
But Lou can only lose so hard for so long. At some point,
At some point, he will lose too hard.
He will lose too close to the sun.
Islanders have the same exact group as last season. I definitely think they'll have a better season, but so will every other Metro team, like we've talked about, probably, because all the Metro teams have done some shit this offseason.
Oh, I think the opposite.
So, really?
I do. We can talk about that later.
Yeah. But I still think so. That's the thing. If Lane Lambert has a good year, he's the new bench boss. Maybe the Islanders could squeak into the playoffs again. But an Islanders win for me this season would be if Lambert lets these players, I guess, maybe play a little more freely. And also if Lou gets the fuck off of the island. That'd be pretty cool. So those are the 2 things that I'm
Lou's about to lose his job.
Do you want them to have a bad year then?
No. I want them to have a better year than last year and Lou to fuck off.
Okay, but I don't think you can have both. I think you need the bad to have the other one happen.
That's interesting. Yeah, because if it didn't happen this year,
they're going to miss the playoffs and Lou's going to lose his job.
Or
all right, there we go. So wait a second.
Can blow everyone's mind by having a great
Nick, which one is it, Nick?
I know.
Wait, what did you just say, Nick?
He said, but after 5 minutes ago saying you're 22-23 Cup champs Islanders, he says they're gonna miss the playoffs and Lou's gonna get fired. He's covered his bases. Now he's got to get one in the middle.
See, if you just say enough, you can clip out a part when at the end of the season, and you'd be like, "See,
I was right."
What I want them to do is, the Florida Panthers. They were like, "Hey, let's bring in Andrew Burnett and he has a hell of a season. I mean, that's a catastrophically foul in the playoffs, but they still fired him after he did really good,
so
right?
Do you want them to make the playoffs and then catastrophically self-destruct in the second round?
No.
Yes, he wants them to make the playoffs and then get owned by the Bolts.
In the second round,
I want them to beat the Bolts in the playoffs.
No.
And then after they beat the Bolts in the playoffs, get swept by the Senators. and then Lou to get fired.
Oh my God, what's happening?
I don't think he would get fired though, because then it'd be an improvement. You were like terrible last year.
Yes,
and you get through a playoff round.
Listen, I'm just talking about my hypothetical dream.
Listen, this is his
Islanders doing
fantasy.
well and Lou's still getting fired. I know that's not realistic. I know. That would be a great Islanders year.
Hey. I mean, that's essentially what I had the Habs make the Cup Finals and then did ass enough in the first half of a season to get Mark Bergevin fired. So that was, you can have something like that happen. I recommend. It's a fun time.
But 50 years Islanders, guys. So that's kind of cool.
Their ice looks nice. I saw that.
Yeah, ice looks real good. So maybe they'll get more than 50 wins this year. Probably not.
Oh.
Moving on to a team that has experience getting more than 50 wins.
Lots of times.
Friggin' A, right?
How do you feel about your boys?
Let me see.
What the hell did they do? I feel like they didn't really.
Hey, what were their names?
They didn't do a whole lot. They didn't really add much. They did. They can't add anything. So they traded McDonough for two dudes from the Predators. So that sucks. I saw a thing the other day because the Predators did their the thing where they count down with the player's jersey number. They said like 27 days. It was McDonough. I was like, but yeah, so we got him. He's out. Palat walked. It's just been a lot of losing. We didn't really add a lot of people. We added Fleury on the back end. I forget which one.
Oh, Hayden, right?
Hayden, I think. Yeah. So we'll see how he does, but I mean they're still there. This is why I love this organization, and I really think that this organization, especially in the last like 4 or 5 years, has come out and they're up top from the owner down, because they're making the sacrifices now, like getting rid of McDonough to remain relevant. Yeah. They're, because like, most of the time, like we've seen it with Chicago, clinging to the past, and now they suck ass.
Yeah.
The Lightning are not gonna fall into that trap.
We need Panarin. We need Brandon Saad back. Like, yeah.
They're not falling for that yet. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But
real quick, if there was a spectrum, it'd be like Chicago clinging to the past, Vegas just fucking throwing things left and right. There's your spectrum.
Yeah.
Yes, and the Bolts are in the middle there.
With Tampa, I think they're sort of like they're like Pittsburgh, but a few years
younger.
Before. Like they're a few years young, like before they are in the progression. In that Pittsburgh's like they maybe got like 2-3 more real good years they can get out of their guys, and then they have to kind of reshape things.
Yep.
Which I don't blame you, because if you have Sidney Crosby and Malkin,
you got to go for it.
You got to try.
You got to go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's when you lose those guys is when you decide to sort of go. But Tampa is sort of in the same area, but like just a little bit before.
Yeah. Crosby's 36. Our big guy Stamkos is 32. So they're like 4 years. They're like 4 years before. But I would say, yeah, they're similar.
But a lot better.
I don't know if Letang was ever on Hedman's level.
No,
to be honest,
it's not a perfect analogy. But like they're sort of like they're keeping all of the big pieces they need to around.
Yep,
and very smartly being like, these are the guys. If we're gonna win, we need to keep these guys. So we'll do that and sort of work in that frame of mind. And they're very good at it. Yeah, it's gonna be telling in like, what'll be telling is in 2 years when Stamkos's
contract is up. That'll be telling of what direction they're going to go.
That'll be like the first window of like, and then I think the next one after that will be Hedman.
Yep.
When that runs out, that'll be your big decision time.
Yes. Yeah. Unless he's continuing to be a top 3 defenseman in the league.
He's still just amazing, then yeah.
Then it won't be all that difficult. But yeah, we'll see. They'll knock, barring some really bad injuries, they'll contend this year again. Hopefully they'll make it far in the playoffs. Hopefully they make the playoffs because the Atlantic's looking kind of nuts.
I mean, if there was ever a year I wouldn't blame them for being a little tired, I think it would be this one.
Dude, no team has played more hockey.
It's insane.
In the last 3 years than the Lightning.
They've played a lot.
It'll be... Yeah, we'll see. I think they'll still make it, but if they don't, I'll be sad, but I'll be okay. So yeah,
I mean, they'll make the playoffs. I don't know if they'll make the cup final, but they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we'll see. There's a lot of good teams. In there.
I mean, the Atlantic's pretty fucking strong.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll get to that.
We will indeed get to that. So yeah, that's it for the Lightning. They'll keep doing their thing, and I will continue to watch. All right, one last thing before we hit our little break time when you guys get to watch us try and guess some more NHL players. Actually, it's just one this week. The NHL 23 cover came out.
Yes.
What did you guys think?
I think there was way too much pointless anger on Twitter about it. I did not understand why people were so mad. It's a cover, guys.
Yeah, I don't. I didn't see any of that because I don't frequent Twitter because it's a hellhole.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But the amount of people who were like, "What the fuck are?"
I'm assuming it's
on the cover. It's
that
NHL game that, and then there was the predictable people being like, "Why the fuck
for the lady?"
Nurse?
Yeah, that's lame.
And I'm just like, guys, she's also awesome. She set an Olympic record at the most recent, they're trying to market better. It's fine.
If I'm being honest,
it's the internet. She's a woman, so
my first thoughts when I look at that cover is if I was like I don't know, I'm trying to between 12 and 18 or whatever, and I saw that cover, I'd be like, I'd probably know who Sarah Nurse is, especially if I was a women's hockey player, or just in general, a lot of hockey players know Sarah Nurse. Isn't she sponsored by CCM or something? She's the face of.
She's one of
those brands. Yeah. And then Trevor Zegras. So I'd be like, oh hey yo, that's a sick cover, and then I just fucking buy the game. That's it.
I'm just glad that they
went just good marketing.
Somebody really different. They again, Austin Matthews 2 times in 3 years, but they really went out there. They probably could have done somebody from Tampa.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you ready for some anger with a point?
Yeah, they probably could have done somebody from Tampa.
All right, so here's what I think. I think Zegras and Sarah Nurse are 2 fantastic choices. You got Zegras, who he's the future of the NHL. It's where the NHL is going, and I think that's a good thing. Sarah Nurse is one of, at least currently, the best, I would say.
One of the top women's players.
Yeah, one of the top ladies players. And let's get a lady on there. They have I don't know if they have females in the NBA 2K yet, but
they do in NHL.
But I know they have them in NHL, and I think putting Sarah Nurse on the cover will get more lady gamers to get it, I would say. I mean, it's not going to get less. So
I just how can you actually argue there's something wrong with it? That's the thing with me.
I don't know.
It's a cover, guy. It's just
doesn't really matter.
I don't know.
But here is my problem. Okay, so looking back. Let's travel back to the past. NHL 11 releases in the fall of 2010 after the Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup.
With Jonathan Toews.
And Jonathan Toews is on the cover. NHL 16 releasing in the fall of 2015 after Chicago wins the Stanley Cup. Jonathan Toews is on the cover.
Yeah.
NHL 22. After the Bolts go back to back, Austin fucking Matthews on the cover for the second year in 3 years. What is that? Bullshit. The fact that the Lightning and then the Lightning go to the Stanley Cup final for the 3rd year in a row. And you're not going to put any fuck off. EA, you can suck my ass. And your game blows.
It does.
That's why I'm not going to buy it.
Also, and this is not a Bolts fan indignation anymore. This is just hockey fan. You know who's not on a NHL cover? That I saw, at least. Sidney Crosby.
Oh, yeah, he hasn't ever been
Sidney
on one.
Crosby is on 0 NHL covers. What?
Yeah, he's never had one.
Jonathan Toews is on 2, and Sidney Crosby's on 0?
Because they had back-to-backs in there, too.
They had back-to-backs. Are you kidding me, EA?
That is kind of dumb.
That is ridiculous, dude. It is absolutely ridiculous.
To be fair to them, I think the times that they got their back-to-backs, they were still doing fan votes. So I'll give them a little bit of a break there. Because I think PK got a fan vote win in there. But
he was 19. He was NHL 19. So that was after the Caps won.
Right. Yeah. Okay, yes. But anyway, I think they were still doing fan votes around that time. So okay, fine. But it is still very dumb. He's never been on
That's
one.
Insane to me.
And the one that Tampa got was in 2012.
Yeah, the one that Tampa got was when their team blew ass, but Stamkos was incredible.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I had that game. It was a good game.
Yeah.
Back when they were still okay.
So that's my problem. But no, I think it's a great 2 choices. I just wish you could have gotten, stop sucking Toews' schlong.
I think Tampa should have been one of the last 2. And then this one, I do think the Zegras choice makes sense in that, it's video games, and he's, the most video game-esque of any offensive player. He's trying the fun. I get the marketing there. That makes sense. But no, you are not wrong. Tampa should have had 1 at some point in this last little bit.
Yeah.
It is kind of dumb.
It should have been Stammer and Hedman and Vasi.
They could have done a multi
with some cool art around it. Yeah. But Nick, what do you think?
I don't give a shit about covers.
I don't think they have it.
They have no effect on it. I mean, it's cool that they're doing something different. I'll say that. So, I mean, you're not going with the old the typical covers of the past of just having this fucking the face of the game on there, right?
Yeah.
Where basketball does if they win the cup or they win the championship, the winning team's on the cover of the next season, or hockey's done in not the last couple of years, obviously.
They should have.
But it's just something different. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it probably will attract more people to play the game. It won't attract me to play the game.
Remember when Drew
fucking
got
sucks?
I do.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I don't know.
If they can fix the game mechanics, I'll play. But
everything I've read from people who played the NHL 23 beta said it was a slightly tweaked NHL 22. So,
who's surprised?
I want 2K to get.
It's not broke. Don't fix it. Oh wait, it's broke. Please fix it.
It's broke, but they have nobody else making anything, so they don't need to fix it because if anybody wants to play hockey, there it is.
Exactly.
I want 2K to get back in on NHL so bad, and I hope that the ESPN rights deal kind of spurs that on, because there's a decent chance hockey's going to become more popular over the next 4 or 5 years, whatever, with the ESPN deal. I hope it becomes popular enough where 2K is hey man, we've done it basketball so well the last little while. We need to get back into this. We can make some money on this.
Yeah.
And them actually have to fucking try. That's been the problem for a very long time, is EA's well, we could try, or we could just...
Or we can not and just make the same amount of money.
Look across the two, who makes MLB? Is it EA?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned
They're
baseball.
more highly regarded games, though. Is the show?
The show
The
is
show,
yeah.
the show's the biggest baseball game.
Yeah,
The only other one that was out there was the Sluggers one, and that was
but
trash.
yeah, NHL has been. I said this to Mike earlier this summer. I got into my PS3 gaming a lot lately. I've just been playing a lot on that because I put a fucking terabyte solid state hard drive into it because I'm dumb. But I played NHL 14 recently, and it plays better. It plays smoother. It plays like it makes more sense. Like there's none of the like little chintzy bullshit. Like when you play and go to make moves, the things that happen are like appropriate. They make sense for what you just did, if that makes sense.
The gameplay is just better.
So if you just like bump
and the
a guy, you
graphics
don't
aren't
get
even that
absolutely
different.
destroyed.
Yeah, the graphics aren't even that different either. Like they just look slightly worse, and that's NHL 14, 8 years ago, which is that's not even. I was gonna say it's a little unfair because that's highly regarded as like one of the best of the NHL series, but no, it's not unfair because that was 8 fucking years ago on the PS3.
You should have made one better by now. God damn it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah.
Well, Eric, what do you think about the cover?
You know how Nick was just like, I don't really give a shit about covers. I'm just like again, like I think it was just marketed like to get younger fans into hockey. Like younger fans are familiar with both those players. So yeah, hell yeah, more power to you.
All right.
I am in agreement with you though. That would be sick to see like a Vasi theme cover specifically. No offense, to, like Point and Stamkos, but a Vasi cover would be dope.
That would also be fine because he's been a fucking mess. And I don't think they've had a goalie cover since 14 when Brodeur was on there.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the other thing I was thinking.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck? Yeah, no, I'm back to being mad about Devassi now. Okay,
yeah. So I'm with you on that, Mike, but I would just wanna that's my vision of Vasi.
Vasi on the cover. Hey, I'd be down for that. Dude's earned it.
Conn Smythe trophy holding it above his head.
No.
On his head.
Yep. That's what it should have fucking been. God, he's literally standing on a boat with the Conn Smythe on his head. Come on. All right. Well, we're going to take a little break here. But while we do, enjoy us trying to guess an NHL player. What's up, guys? I hope you're enjoying this podcast so far. It's pretty good.
We definitely
but we're here
already.
We're here. We're doing our this is our Hertl. This is going to be every week. We're going to do 1 or 2 Hertls. It all depends on how long it takes. And here's our first one. So, you guys ready to see this thing?
Oh, of course.
Huh.
Is that Zegras? Before his hair got long?
It might be short hair Trevor Zegras. It is not. It is an American.
But it is an American from the Western Conference who plays center.
It's an American center from.
I thought for a second it was Dylan Larkin, but it's in the West.
Oh yeah, it's actually in the.
It does kind of look like
Central as well.
Yeah.
So Central teams are
Colorado. Is that is Mark Scheifele American?
He is. No, he's not. He's Canadian. Okay, so Nashville. Right? Could this be Nashville?
Johansson is a center.
Dallas.
Who's their centers?
I have no idea. All I know is their defensemen.
Who are the?
Well, let's try and narrow down the team. Or narrow down.
Let's try.
Is that Clayton Keller?
I don't think so.
No, he's too young. I think he's too young.
He's 26. This is older than 21. We have no idea what.
Yeah,
the age
but
is.
I thought it would be close.
No, it's yellow. The age will light up yellow. Okay. Yeah. Let's try it. Okay. No. Oh, he's 26 or 24. Oh, he's a right winger. I didn't know that.
I just can't think of centers on Central Division teams.
I can't either. I don't. Wait, no, because Patty Kane's.
Let's go through some Central teams.
All right, let's go Dallas. It's not Jason Robertson, but
Dallas's centers.
We have 8 total guesses, and we've used 2 of them, so 6 more. What are the teams?
So
okay, Colorado. Colorado.
Could you show the silhouette while we're
Oh,
talking?
shit, yeah. Colorado. Nashville,
they got
Chicago.
Chicago. Who do they have for centers? Well, they don't have Kirby Doc anymore.
Dallas.
They have.
Does anyone know if JT Comfort is he a center or is he a wing?
I don't know. We can try him though.
I don't know. Yeah, go for it. Why not?
Watch it be him.
Oh shit. Comfort. Okay. Older than 27. Old though.
Okay, well, so we know they're not on Arizona or Colorado.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, this is a toughie.
I don't recognize the hair. Is the
I don't
problem.
either. And here's the problem too: is it goes in depth here. So this could be a depth guy.
Yeah.
Like a depth guy, like a not even on the start.
All right,
like
let's
the top
try
20.
to establish another team. Let's try to establish a team.
Let's do Pavelski. I'm doing Pavelski.
Then we'll know if it's a Dallas person.
And we'll get closer to the age.
What do we got here?
He is a center. I thought he was a wing. Younger than 38, but it's not close. So it could be 32, 33.
Jeez.
So it's not on Arizona, Colorado, or Dallas. We got them ticked off. So we have Nashville. Who do we have left? We got Nashville, Winnipeg.
Chicago.
Is that it? No, there's got to be one more.
There's
isn't
one
it 7? Or isn't it?
There's 8.
8?
There's 8.
So there'd be 2 more.
Oh my God! Teams? Why can't I think of it?
Minnesota.
And St. Louis.
Oh, the Blues.
Somebody on St. Louis.
Is it Ryan Hartman?
That could be.
Ooh.
No, because he's not that old. Right?
Is he? He might be by now. He's been around a bit.
Fuck it.
He has been around a hot second.
And we'll know if they're on Minnesota at least.
Oh my God! There's a bazillion Ryans. Okay, he's a winger.
He's not on Minnesota. Jesus. All right, this is rough.
We're not going to get it.
3 guesses left. Okay.
No, we got this.
So it's got to be on Nashville, Winnipeg, or St. Louis? Is that what I'm...
Chicago, Nashville, Winnipeg, Chicago, or St. Louis.
It's going to be one of Chicago's people that they've pulled up because they got to ice a team.
Nashville, Winnipeg, Chicago, or St. Louis. All right, but let's see. Nashville, who are their centers? Ryan Johansson.
Is Duchesne a center?
Me. I don't know. He's also not American. Is he
American?
Matt Duchesne's American.
Yeah, he is, because he was a Colorado fan growing up. Try him.
Damn it. He's Canadian.
Really?
No.
Oh, wait, yeah, he is.
He's Canadian?
I didn't think that.
I didn't think he was Canadian either.
So slightly, so we were right with the around 22. Okay, well, we're eliminated another team.
This is how it always goes when I do it by myself.
It's Chicago,
Winnipeg.
We got Chicago, Winnipeg,
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Okay, Chicago, Winnipeg, St. Louis.
Yep.
Winnipeg centers are Dubois, Scheifele, both Canadian.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know. As soon as you get past the first 2, I'm like, Dude, Chicago, it's going to be somebody on Chicago, and we just don't know. You know what I mean?
Left on Chicago?
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be one of their prospects that had to get brought up.
Guess a Chicago player, just so we know if it's on that team.
Okay, well, this is our final guess. Oh, wait, no, it's not.
Mike, I have a question. Who was the player that got traded to Tampa, Chicago? Oh my God, I can't remember his name. Hagel. Who was he traded for? Do you know?
They were all younger guys, weren't they?
Oh, Boris Kachuk and Taylor Radish. I don't think this is either of them.
Okay.
This doesn't look like either of them.
Is that Tyler Johnson? Is he a center?
Oh,
is that Tyler Johnson?
Dude,
come on, let's go. There we go. I forgot he was there.
Wow.
All right, awesome. Nice. All right, that's gonna do it because that one took us a while. So that was our
took us a minute.
That was our one. Nice, good job. I forgot he was there. Dang, man.
Yeah, it was one of those trades that kind of falls under the radar.
Good old T-Dick.
Old T-Dick.
All right,
there we go.
And back to the podcast. And welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that little guessing game. I can't believe that I didn't realize or I forgot that old T-Dick was in was in Chicago. That was lame.
He's a forgettable player.
That was lame of me.
It took us a bit to get there. It took us most of our guesses, but we got there.
Yep. All right. So here's I wanted to do this as soon as our last season ended, like our podcast season ended. But what we're gonna do here, gentlemen, is we're gonna go through all the teams that missed the playoffs from each division, and you all are gonna pick one from each, or none if you think none are gonna make the playoffs. But you're gonna pick one from each that you think will make the playoffs. Yes, it is an option. None is an option because I picked that for one of the
I think I know which one.
All right. So who would like to go first?
Well, what division are we doing? Are we just going to do order like this?
Are we going to do like each of us pick from the division, then we go to the next one, and then each?
Yeah. Why don't we just all do our pick from the Atlantic, then move to the next division, or is that the plan?
Yeah. No. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So Benny. Who do you think from the Atlantic is going to make the playoffs this year that did not make the playoffs last year?
I think none of them are. I don't think any of those teams. I think all of these teams improved, but I also think that the top half. I don't see how you can like upend that. I still don't think any of them improved enough to be able to shift the like grand total like of the Atlantic. I still think you're going to have Tampa making it. You're going to have Toronto making it. You're probably going to have Florida and Boston making it. I can't put any of those four above any of the four I just said. Like I can't in my head look at those teams makeups and the other teams makeups and be like, I think they're going to finish ahead of them. I think all of them are going to improve based on their records from last year, but I don't think it's going to be enough, I guess is what
All
I
right.
should say.
Okay. What do you think, Rick?
For the Atlantic, I'm going to say Detroit.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Got big old Ben Sherratt, man.
Because I just want to have fun in this segment and just pick a team that I have high hopes for.
Okay.
They did make some fun additions.
I don't want to get overly analytical about this. I just want to just be like Detroit. That's it.
Okay. Nick, what do you got? Come on.
I'm going to have to say none of them.
No, you son of a bitch!
Oh, no.
I wanted you to be a homer.
So, as much as I want Ottawa to make the playoffs, I think next year.
Okay.
My problem is Boston didn't get much worse. They actually, I mean, depending on how you feel about Krejci,
bringing him back is going to be good. Yeah,
it's going to help that second line, and that's where they really struggled last year. And to me, the only team of those four that Ben rattled off to you, Boston's the fringe team, and I'm like, I don't think you can beat out Boston.
That's a pretty good fringe team.
So I say none of them.
You guys are fucking boring.
Right.
I'm being honest. I don't think it's going to happen.
All right. Okay. So here I come. I'm saying Detroit as well. And that's not just, I have analytics in my brain, not actually analytics. It's actually just my feeling. All right. So you said none of you don't think, I think Toronto is their goaltending is so, you don't know. I think that's going to be a problem. And I know their goaltending wasn't good last year.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be a problem. I think that they will be the fringe team, as you say. And I think Detroit has made a couple of really good additions. They've added Perron and Kopp on the front end, so that helps. And the other thing they've added is Ville Husso in the net.
The big one, yeah.
And I also don't think that Ned will have as bad of a year as he had.
Yeah, I feel like that. I think that was just weird. I don't know.
Yep. I think their goaltending is going to get better. I think their scoring is going to get better. And then if they make it into the playoffs, watch out because they got Mr. Sherratt to just cross-check you into oblivion.
He really has a thing for big, not very mobile defensemen. He brought Girardi into fucking Tampa.
That was just because he was a Ranger.
He's oh yeah, there is that. But so like I guess if you have Stevie Y as your GM, you can count on him to mostly be fine, but then have a weird obsession with just like having one big guy per team, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. But that's what I say. Yeah.
I could see it. I mean, it's not like NHL is weird. Seasons go crazy. You never know what's going to happen. It's not that I couldn't see like a team like Detroit making the leap or something. I just don't think.
You just don't think it will. Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think they will. I was originally going to say Ottawa, but I didn't think so.
No.
Like Detroit's closer than Ottawa.
It is kind of funny though with the Atlantic. I think Ottawa's going to take a step but miss the playoffs, and I think the Habs are going to be what Ottawa was last year. Is how I think it's going to go. I think the Habs are going to jump up like 4 or 5 spots in the standings, but are still not going to be very good.
Yeah, I could see that. All right. Well, let's stay in the East. Metro. What do you guys got? Who wants to go first?
Well, what about our Metro boy, Eric?
Metroman.
I'll go first. I'm going to say the Islanders. I'm going to be a homer.
Hey, there we go.
You know why? Because they need to make the playoffs in order for Lou Lamoriello to get fired.
What?
That's what I'm going.
What is this backwards shit?
What?
No,
Eric, no.
To be honest, I don't know. I look at all the other teams there, and that's why I picked the Islanders. I don't know. Columbus might surprise me, but I'm going to stick with the Isles. I'm going to stick as a homer with the Isles. I think they got a better group than all those other teams. So.
Now, I also think the Islanders will make it. But I could also see a situation where none of those extra Metro teams make it.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me.
I could see 5 Atlantic teams in the playoffs.
The Atlantic's fucking good, man.
I could see 5 Atlantic teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me.
Very easily. What do you think there, Benny?
I think the Islanders are gonna make it. I think last year was just similar to the Habs, actually. Like, they had such a shit hand dealt to them in a lot of ways. They had their road trip to start. You guys had I think we had just about as bad a COVID issues as each other's teams, Eric. I mean, the Habs had some ECHL guys in the lineup a couple nights. I don't know if it ever got to that with the Islanders. But I know you guys had some pretty bad COVID struggles as well. I just think last year was a bit of a blip for them. And even then with that blip, they by the end it wasn't that close, but like there was a month or so there where people were like, hey, wait a minute, Washington needs to suck ass, but maybe. And then
I was on board that train.
You were.
Oh yeah.
But I could see the Islanders making it this year. I'm gonna go with the Islanders.
Nick.
I am not gonna go with the Islanders.
Are you gonna go with none, or are you going to somebody else?
Are you saying none?
I think that Pittsburgh misses it this year, and Columbus.
Oh, an off the board pick.
Oh wow!
Columbus is pesky as fuck. I'll
They
give
could.
them that.
They very well could.
I like Elvis a lot.
The goalie or the deceased pop singer?
The goalie.
Or rock singer, I guess.
The goalie. As
Okay.
some of the commentators like to call him Merleckens, but look at his last name. There is a Z.
It is
Right. Yeah. I know.
This just in. You heard it here first. Nick hates Elvis Presley.
That's not true. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, that's a bold pick to make. It's just, I don't know. I got a feeling. I got a weird hunch.
All right. I like it. Well, where do we? So we got 3 Islanders and 1 Columbus. All right. And who?
Columbus, I was going to say somebody else. Columbus was going to be mine, but I still think it's.
Yeah, I don't think you pick either of the other teams in the Metro.
Come on.
All right. Well, let's go. Let's just keep going west. What kind of Central? We'll go to the Central. Who would like to go first?
So before we go,
Why is there only 3?
Because of the wild card.
Oh, right.
Three. There was 5 Central teams that made the playoffs last year. So these 3 are the 3 that didn't. Will either of these, any of these 3, make them? It was Winnipeg. Who was it? Winnipeg,
Chicago,
Arizona, Chicago.
No, none of them will.
Is that the same for everybody? Can I assume?
I don't think Winnipeg will be as bad.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you could see Hellebuck go crazy, I guess, but
that's the only thing. Like, I
he's an
can't
X
think
factor.
Scheifele's going to play as bad as he did last. Like, he didn't play bad, but he didn't have a great year last year. Wheeler, I don't think, played great last year either.
They're going to be.
They're too good not to be having another shit season.
Yeah.
But I don't think so.
They're going to be interesting. I mean, bringing Rick Bowness to his 12th team, coaching the Jets.
Only his second head coaching job, though. I'm pretty sure.
Is it really?
At least in the NHL, is only his second head coach in the NHL. I'm pretty sure.
I thought he had.
Oh maybe. No, because he was. I think he was expansion Sens too.
Yeah, he's been around for fucking ever, man. And then the other wrinkle of stripping Blake Wheeler of the sea, which was an intriguing story. Which, I mean, it does a lot to kind of confirm a lot of the bad locker room rumors that have been going around for fucking ever with that team.
Don't talk shit about Blake Wheeler.
I mean, maybe Blake Wheeler or Mark Scheifele should play defense once. I don't know, but it's weird. I don't know. That's good. They're of any of them, that would be the one I could say could maybe.
They're the only ones that could. Well, obviously, because the other 2 are Chicago, who's tearing it down to the fucking ground, let alone the studs.
And then Arizona,
basically the same.
Yeah, and Arizona's just stockpiling picks like they're golden bars in the 1700s.
But yeah, I don't think any of them are gonna.
No, I don't think so either.
It's a very, very niche metaphor there.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So let's go to the Pacific, 'cause this one's fun.
This one is fun.
This one's intriguing.
Fun. Who wants to go first?
So I will go first. I think Vancouver makes it. Vegas will not make it again.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I actually like that call.
You think
Vegas,
you agree too, Benny?
I do not think Vegas makes the playoffs this year. I mean,
you're leaning.
Way too much goalie. You're gonna lose games at the beginning of the season because of your goalie issue.
Yeah, their tandem right now is Aiden Hill and Logan Thompson.
Is Leonard even expected? He's not even expected.
He's missing the whole season.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so, they brought in Phil Kessel.
Oh, Phil the Thrill.
Phil the Thrill. Hey,
do they have hot dog carts there?
I'm sure.
No.
Okay.
The young guys in Vancouver.
It's Vegas. They can't afford that. They go over the cap.
The young guys.
Phil,
in
we cannot afford your hot dogs.
Play better. And so I forget, but they extended JT Miller.
Oh yeah, so, $8 million.
So they're good.
Good deal.
I mean, he's. Yeah.
So Ben, you agree? Do you agree with Nick?
Yeah, I honestly, Interesting.
All right, well, you ponder. Eric, what do you think?
I am going to go with Vancouver as well. I just think it makes the most sense. Again, Vegas' goaltending issue is the big one for me. Also, they locked up their who'd they lock up? Vancouver, Pedersen.
They signed a bunch of people this summer, I think.
A bunch of people.
The only one that's not locked in is Horvat.
Who also wants to stay.
He has one more year, though, right?
Yes. Yeah, they can sign him now. They just have not.
Yeah. Just based on that and
the way
they were scoring, I'm going to say Vancouver.
Okay, so what if I said that you could pick 2 teams from this one? Would you still say no to Vegas?
Yes, I would pick Anaheim ahead of Vegas.
Oh my God! Because I wrote down Vancouver and Vegas. I think both. I think both will make it. I think we'll go back to 4-4 from those Western divisions. I think we're going to go 4-4 from the West divisions in the playoffs, and I think we're going to go 5 Atlantic teams and 3 Metro teams. That's what I think is going to happen.
So who made it from the Pacific before?
Who the hell did make it?
So it would have been Calgary,
Kings, and Oilers. Yep, that was it.
So I still think it's going to be 4-4. I just think the fourth is going to be Vancouver. Yeah, Vancouver.
Oh shit, yeah. Because who would I kick out? I would kick out some Central teams.
Dallas. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how. Dallas won't make it, and yeah, whatever. We can talk about all that in the last episode before the start of the season, because that
are we gonna do our full?
Is when we'll do our 2 early picks. All right, and now last but not least here, let's talk about some MLB changes, because we actually talked about this last year at some point. We talked about the shift restriction, because you were saying that they were going to do that. Yeah. So and they fucking did it. So what do you think about that?
Explain this to me, and it sounds dumb, but you guys,
it seems dumb to me as well.
So we'll start with that one. I mean, that's the biggest one I personally think out of all of these that really changes the game. So the way that it explains to me is that you have to have, so like on your right side of the infield, you have to have 2 infielders. Your first baseman, your second baseman. No shit. That's where they always play. So you can't shift over your shortstop to cover that. My thing is, why? Like, I understand because a lot of these hitters, it's gonna lead to like not being able to get like. It's hard to explain. If you're a left-handed hitter, your tendency is to pull the ball. You're gonna hit it on the right side of the infield most of the time, just like a righty's gonna hit it on the left side of the field most every time. So the shifts make sense, and you shifted to get guys out because you knew X player was gonna hit it to the right side of the field every single time because he doesn't hit it to the left side.
Right.
That's just how it works. So you're gonna see like, okay, instead of being able to shift your shortstop over to like your second base spot and move your second baseman out towards the outfield, you're going to see that shortstop probably shift towards like right above the second base, stay on his side, but he's going to still be farther over. I think it's going to make that you're going to have more hits that are going to be in play.
I think that's the goal. I think that's the goal.
Right, because you're not going to see like a pitcher dominate. Like, you're still going to see pitcher dominated games because pitchers still dominate baseball over the hitters, but the hits that you would normally routinely get out on the guy who hits it to the second base right field gap every time are going to bloop in for hits. And then it's going to help hitting, I think. But it also is like, okay, so now you're rewarding this guy who hits it to the right side every single fucking time because he can't hit to the left side of the field. So
as a baseball noob, I understand there's tendencies, but as a hitter, can you control that to any degree? Can you is there ways to hit where you can make it go the other way?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can hit opposite field.
Why can't it just be tough shit, hit it the other way then?
That's what I don't understand. Like, they've done this for years. But if you're going to shift your shortstop, your second baseman, and your first baseman over to the right side of the field and have your third baseman cover the whole left side, put a bunt down the left side of the fucking field and you're on base every single time.
Yep.
Yeah. That, I feel like you could just, all right, then I'm just going to hit it the other way. Like, if you're a pro baseball player, you would
be able to hit if you're a professional baseball player, you should be able to hit the ball all over the field.
Right.
I understand pitching is like obviously a big thing, right?
Hell yeah. It's my favorite part to watch.
You should still be able to hit the ball around the field. Like, if you want to hit it up the center, hit it up the center. Like, I get that speed through the zone is when you're going to be able to hit the ball. If you're early, you're going to hit it. If you're early, you're going to hit it to the opposite field.
If you're early, you'll pull it, right? Because your bat's in front of you.
If you're early, you'll pull it. If you're late, you'll hit it. Just
push
it up and hit it later. Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Yeah. That's, I thought, because it's like part of the game, you know what I mean? And now they're changing it So
it's a strategic part of the game because you're like, oh, okay, so I know this guy's going over here. I'm going to move my team over here, cover that field, get him out.
Yeah, because
I feel like it's a thing you don't need to do, because if you're doing this, we're going to shift over for the tendency, you can get just as screwed if the guy's like, all right, well, if you're going to do that, I'm just going to go the other way.
Yeah, like, if you can get a hitter that can hit both ways, like on command.
Yeah. Which like I said, I don't know how common that is. You guys would know better than I, but
it's not that common.
Yeah.
Right.
It really isn't. That's why. So
yeah.
Good players can do it. The rest of the guys just want to hit home runs.
They're just swinging. They're just swinging hard.
That's why if you really look at baseball statistics, either guys are hitting home runs all the time or they're fucking striking out all the time. All they want to do is get home runs.
Yeah.
There's obviously hitters in there that can.
Yeah. But there were two other rules that don't, or the rule changes that don't affect it that much, except maybe one of them will shorten the game a little bit.
Which
the base
is very much needed.
It is. Yeah, like the shorter games are like 3 hours, which is like an NHL game normal. Like a normal NHL game.
Somebody who has had to like get baseball games onto the front page of a newspaper many a time, I am very excited about this change.
Yeah,
because baseball games take a long time sometimes.
Yeah, those 4.5, 5 hour games.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the pitch counter.
The pitch
the
timer,
one that means more the most. So it's 15 seconds per pitch with empty bases, and then 20 seconds with runners on.
Yep.
So I mean, that's still 20 seconds is still a lot. Like set a timer for 20 seconds right now, and it's gonna feel like, wow, this is actually a lot of time.
It's more than you need.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't care. I think that's a good change. And then obviously, they've made the bases bigger. Instead of 15 square inches now, it's 18. So
that one, I don't understand why you need that. I didn't think the bases was a problem.
I could see that.
You've had the same size bases in baseball for the last how many years? Let's just make it a little bigger.
Theoretically, I could see that, like, if it's bigger, because that would be honestly, it'd be kind of substantially bigger if it's 18 square, because you'd be adding like more to one side and then more to the other side. Like, it's a lot. It'd be pretty decently bigger.
Yeah.
So it might increase the chances base runners might take more chances. So it either would lead to more scoring or faster outs.
More steals, you think?
It's going to give you a better surface area that if you're stealing second, where you used to have maybe like a 1 inch gap to slide around them, you might have another inch there that you can just sneak your hand in. I don't know. I mean, it's not. It's.
There's only one rule change out of these that we're gonna actually. I feel like that we'll actually see while watching a game, and that's obviously the shift.
Yeah.
Also, part of the shift was all the infielders had to have both feet in the infield. Now, I had a question because I don't know what counts as the infield. Is it the dirt track or is it the actual grass on the infield?
Dirt.
Okay, that makes more sense because like the dirt, if they had to be on the grass, like holy shit, that's so far forward.
That's the thing I was saying, right? Like, so for a left-handed batter who pulls it every time, you have a second baseman who backs up into middle outfield between the gap zone between your right fielder and your second baseman. Back up into that gap. That way nothing drops in there, and then shift over your shortstop. So you have one infielder who's in the dirt, the other infielder who's backed up into the outfield. So that's to get him to stop doing that.
So now the change there now is instead of backing up so the shortstop and the 1, 2, and 3 third baseman will have to have both feet on that dirt as the pitch is thrown. So that'll be interesting.
I think you'll still see guys shifting over after the pitch gets thrown. I don't know. You'll see them probably do it as quickly as possible to get back into those spots. But that's something that I'm going to be interested to see how that plays out.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, gentlemen, that brings us to the end of episode 1. Well done. A little bit of a longer one, but in our
2-hour pod,
we got to get back into the swing of things. So,
we had a lot to talk about.
We did. So does anybody have anything they want to say before we end? Nick wants to eat some burgers. I know that.
I'm excited for another hockey season, boys. Get the first Habs preseason game on Monday, and I'm very looking forward to it. You know I'm going to watch it, even though it's going to be like dog shit rosters with like 60% ECHL or AHL players.
The Senator roster today had none of their first line.
Yeah, you're going to
rest them, save them.
They had no first line offense or no first pairing defense.
It's really like the last like 2 or 3 preseason games, or when you actually get the good stuff. It's like, okay, this is almost the team, but we'll see.
Yeah,
there is 3 in a row, 3 Habs versus Sens preseason games for some godforsaken reason.
Nice.
Which I know is going to get stupid because those games always get stupid, and there's going to be an injury that comes out of it. I know it. But anyway.
Hopefully to the Habs.
Rick, you got anything before we leave?
I do not. I'm very hungry.
All right. I am as well. So let's get the fuck out of here. All right. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Hit like if you liked it. Hit subscribe if you want to see more. Hit follow or subscribe if you're listening on a podcasting platform. But I do suggest that you head over to the YouTube because that is how, that's the best way to intake it is the video.
Faces.
Yeah, you get to see our lovely faces.
And you get to watch us play Hertl.
Yeah, that's if you're listening on the podcast, you didn't hear us play Hertl, or watch us play Hertl, but you should head over and take a look at that because it's a good time.
You should include that in the audio anyway. Just to be
yeah, we'll see.
Anyway.
We'll see about that.
As we go through it.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
On the next episode of the Duster Squad podcast.
The Duster Squad podcast.